الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد على آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. Today I just want to say a few words in conclusion of the story of Khadija radiallahu anha and her life. There's something very special about her being number one, being the first. Being the first is considered something very special in our tradition. That those who accepted Islam in the beginning, the first 40 people accepted Islam. So the scholars even talk about those people. Umar radiallahu anhu was the 40th one. And they say that if it was a prophet after the prophet, it would have been Umar. So he accepted Islam at the 40th. So it's a very interesting. Numbers have a very powerful meaning to them. So being early, especially those who attended the first battle of Badr, they are called the Badri Sahaba. So whenever the scholars talk about the life of the Sahaba, if there were a Badri Sahabi, they will always mention in the beginning, so and so, Shahida Badran. That's an honor for them to be in that first battle, first expedition, the first test. That was also Yawm al-Furqan, where the truth and falsehood were separated. So, one of my teachers used to always recite this verse of Musa alayhi salam, being early, being first. She said Musa alayhi salam, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala invited him to give him the tablets of the scripture, and there was a whole agreement, for that, and the timing that was given, he actually went there early and he left the people behind, as mentioned in Surah Taha, right? And then when he came there and he left his people behind, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said to Musa alayhi salam, what is before that? What is before that? ما أعجلك عن قومك يا موسى. Why did you leave your people behind and you came here so early? He said, عجلت إليك ربي لترضى. I came early just to make you happy. It's an interesting statement. I was just wanted to be there. I wanted to speak to you. So being early, being first is always something very special. So Khadija radiallahu anha, she was the first mother of the believers, right? First Ummul Mu'mineen, because she was, of course, the first wife of the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Also, she was the first believer. We have first of different categories, but for anyone to accept Islam, she is the first one. So she's the first one. So whoever comes after her, al-fadlu lil-mutaqaddimin, as they say in Arabic, that the virtue is for the one who came first. And in particular, also I highlighted this whole concept because in this era that we're living in, old is to be thrown out. Anything that gets old, things in particular, and also people who get older in age, they sit at the corner. Any gathering, there are right at the corner, have maybe a separate chair, and nobody talks to them. And normally they don't have much to contribute as well, right? So they're kind of outdated. They have a fadila. They were closer to the time of the Prophet ﷺ than myself, right? They were 40 years earlier than me, older than me, so it means there are 40 years close to the time of the Prophet ﷺ. Things also, we just trash them quickly, disposable things, almost everything that we get. There's always a renewal of everything. Get something new, it's getting old, get something new. Even the things that are made to be disposed after a few years, right? every time a new phone, new gadget. It is the era that we're living in. People are not that important. There's a term for it. Just when we are in need, we communicate. We are with people. We are calling people. We are sitting with people. But things are important. We stick around with things more than people. But anyway, that's a subject or a topic for another time. But anyway, so she was the first to believe in the Prophet ﷺ without any hesitation, as we mentioned last night. She is also the first one to get the glad tidings of Jannah. Normally we talk about the Ashara Mubashara, the 10 that were given the glad tidings of Jannah in this world, right? But we hardly ever mention the female Sahabiyat. She is the first one to get that glad tidings, even before Abu Bakr, before Umar, and the rest. Radiallahu anhum. May Allah be pleased with all of them. She is also the one that receives salam from Allah through the Prophet ﷺ. Isn't that amazing? One night, she used to prepare food for the Prophet ﷺ, and he used to go out and sometimes spend time away doing ibadah in seclusion. So one night, the Prophet ﷺ was away and he was doing his ibadah, and she prepared some soup, food, whatever soup is mentioned, and then she puts it in a bowl and carries it to the Prophet ﷺ, because she wanted him to kind of focus on his meditation, his ibadah, his dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and she would take care of the affairs of the house, and especially food. So she brought the food to the Prophet ﷺ, and when she came in, the Prophet ﷺ looked at her and he was like smiling, and like very happy, and joy you could see on the face of the Prophet ﷺ. When she comes in and he says to her, I was just talking with the angel Jibreel, and he said to me that Khadija is about to come, and she will be bringing a bowl of soup. So the Prophet ﷺ knew before even she came that what she's bringing. You're bringing a bowl of soup, and tell her that Allah sends salams to her. And Allah also guarantees her a place in Jannah. There will be no difficulty and no cruelty. So two glad tidings at the same time. The salam from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and also the glad tidings of Jannah. So it's like done deal, good to go, mashallah. So that's something that we all yearn for, all wish to have that glad tidings, inshallah, when we first meet the angel Israel, who's going to take our souls, inshallah, that we see our place in Jannah, and we see the glad tidings, and we see our future, where we're going to be, inshallah. Okay, I think I will end over because I wanted to meet with a few brothers, inshallah. So we'll end over, inshallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I wanted to summarize also some of the lessons that we can take from the life of Khadija radiallahu anha. Inshallah, I'll leave that for tomorrow. We'll talk about just a few lessons that we can use it, inshallah, in our homes or in our family or in our own personal life, inshallah. Subhanallah bihamdik, subhanallah al-azim, subhanakallah bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.